Hey everyone, this is Dhruvin, and first of all, I welcome you all to my another segment called Talk with Dave Season 2. This is the segment where we are inviting industry expert across the globe and we are recording one session with them and gain their expertise with their area. So today's session is also one of the most interesting session, and today to share our knowledge, basically we have our industry expert with us, Mr. Ami Diamond. So today he is going to talk about latest SharePoint features. So let me just introduce Amy on the screen and let's start our conversation. Hi Amy, how are you?
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me on the show. It's a really pleasure and honor.
Thank Thank you so much, Amy, for your valuable time and your SharePoint expertise that we are going to have into our next 1 hour call. So I'm looking forward to it, and definitely our audience will get to know many new things from you in today's session.
Well, I'm also following you, and I see lots of content and very complex things that you solve problems. And I'm amazed at all of the things that you have provided on the YouTube channel and other posts. So it's really, really, you're a guru.
Thank you so much, Amy. It's really means a lot to me, and definitely specifically with SharePoint area. Basically, I'm also following your post, and
Thank you very
you
much.
always cover latest information. That's really great to see, and everyone learn lots more thing from you. And definitely, it's not easy task to make a video and publish it for community. It took lots of effort and energy, and I'm amazed like you are sharing such good things for the community, so thanks for that.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I do it just for fun. If I wouldn't enjoy it, I think the most important thing is to if you know lots of knowledge and you keep it to yourself, then it's not worth anything. It's to
Absolutely.
provide. It's a small world, and I think the community is very small, and everyone can benefit. Just opening up the LinkedIn or other social media, and you can get the information there. So why not? Yeah. So
Perfect, perfect. All right. So, Amy, coming towards the main part, like in today's session, basically we are going to latest SharePoint feature. So, what are the main things we are going to cover in this session? If you can just give us some idea, so we will have an idea like what will be in the next 1 hour for this new features.
yeah, actually, as I said, I focus on tips and tricks in SharePoint, mostly out of the box, so no development or things like that. We will talk about collapsible sections. It's a new way actually of saving real estate. So instead of scrolling the pages, then Microsoft gave us some accordion method of just grouping the information, and it's a very cool tip. Second topic is actually navigation switcher, which is actually for team sites. You can actually take the left navigation and decide either to hide it or to flip it to the top navigation, and then you can use mega menu and all kind of cool stuff. So that's also saving real estate and using the page very well. The next thing will be actually in Microsoft List talking about the new view of board view, which is actually almost replacing the planner in a way. You take the list information and convert it to a Kanban board where you can actually see, and the data is changed based on dragging and dropping. Next one will be actually not a new feature, but it's a cool thing how to integrate emojis, because you can, out of the windows you can get some emojis and you can integrate them in pages, in columns, in team sites, in channels. There's all kinds of things. Not always you should use all of them because it would look too too much, but sometimes it can give and another, the last thing will be actually how to convert a folder library to columns, because actually we have all kinds of topics of uh, threshold and all kinds of things like that. And storing in folders is actually a old-fashioned way, and using uh, metadata and columns is a nice way. So I'll demonstrate a simple scenario in this way, and I'll give the pros and cons for each thing. So that's more or less, I think, what I want to talk. And yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yes, thank you so much, Amy. Like, I can see like the topic that you choose. It's really amazing. Like, people are going to know many new things. Obviously, like, so this is a full-fledged tips and tricks session and new feature session. So yeah, guys, stay tuned till the end. Lots of learning throughout this entire session. Now, let me just start. Let me just ask few more questions to Amy before I move forward with his introduction part. So, Amy, we all know basically, we all are in the tech world. So, mostly our weekdays are almost busy with the client work and all. So, whenever you have some spare time, what would you like to do? What are your main things that you would love?
Well, actually, I play the trumpet in an
Wow.
orchestra in a community band, and I'm actually the soloist. So I'm the, like the first one. It's it I it, The band has 60 players, and we actually practice once a week, and we have even concerts, and most of it is in old age homes and volunteering. So because we believe also the music can cure. And so, if SharePoint and texting is very s- you know very not that well, the opposite of music is the opposite of tech. Yes, it's clearing your mind, is helping people, and that actually lets me uh, think of good ideas and creative ideas. So that's one thing I do. I play the trumpet since the age of 10. I'm already 50.
Wow.
And I also do mountain bike riding, so it's a bit extreme. I try to protect myself with a helmet and everything, but that's also for, so the blood is a bit not sitting all day long. And that's the main things. I enjoy being with my family on weekends, and I have two daughters. And yeah, I think, and of course, doing my YouTube channel. So that's also a thing. But yeah, I think I'm quite busy, but I enjoy myself.
That's great, Amy. Like, you are doing many things apart from only techie things. So that that's good to know. Like, people, whenever we are doing this kind of session, audience are always, uh, keen to know like what MVPs, what the YouTubers, what the community leaders are basically doing. They are not only doing community activities, they are also enjoying the life with their favorite hobbies, and also that's good to know. Thank you so much for sharing that. And second thing I wanted to know from you, like, basically you have a very large experience in this IT industry, basically. So, like, you have seen from beginning everything. Like, today, what SharePoint is. Before 15 years or before 10 years, it was not like that. So, how do you see your IT journey from your start to till now? So, if you can just
Well,
share
yeah,
something.
yeah, of course. Well, actually, I had economics degree, and I joined a company where actually they needed somebody to be involved with a ERP SAP project. So I, on the way, learned that, and then the company needed somebody to build an intranet site. It was in these days 2007 SharePoint. And then I started as an end user, and then I became a key user, and then I became actually a service manager, meaning I worked in Siemens. It's an international company, and I was responsible for something like 15 countries for SharePoint 2007. Then we migrated to SharePoint 2013. There, I was also in a global team of service. I also was involved also in training, in architecture, in governance, and all kinds of things. Then the company decided to move to the cloud, 365, and I was the person that took one of the streams. So actually, yeah, I you say. Uh, I think SharePoint Online has improved very much, but some things have stayed the same. You know, a list is a list also 20 years ago. It's just sometimes rebranding. Okay, so sometimes it's a marketing thing. Document libraries have stayed the same. Sometimes, definitely, the the modern look and feel is very good. It's good responsive for mobiles, and you save all of these migrations. You know, once you're in the cloud, you don't need to do data migrations and data cleaning. Um, so by the way, because I started with a background of business and economics, so I could also understand I could understand what the business wants, and then interpret it to IT meanings. On the way, I also did some BI uh, SSRS. That was reporting services before Power BI got to be very common. So I picked up lots of things, and I try in my current job actually to combine all of that, and both as a consultant, both as a demand and change management, and also as a trainer, and yeah, all kinds of things. So every day I learn something new, and
That's great. That's great.
I try
And
to
that's the
learn.
true
Yeah.
energy. Yes, that's the energy that, any IT enthusiastic can should have into their career, because in IT every day something new is coming up, and we should always keep ourselves updated with the latest technology and latest thing. And I can see your journey, like it has different flavors, many flavors actually. You actually seen something from born to grown up. So that's a really amazing thing. So
Some pain
yeah.
points have remained. That's the problem. That some critical things have not changed, and sometimes I would tell the customer, don't force the solution on SharePoint, because sometimes it's not the solution. Go develop something somewhere else, not just because your company has it. But now with Power Automate and other things in the Power Platform, you can do much more things than you could on premise. That's yeah.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So, thank you so much, Amy, for sharing your overall experience with me. So, now let me just go through with your little bit introduction, and then we can go forward with the session thing. So, let me just give you some audience idea about Amy. So, Amy is basically from Israel, and as he mentioned, like he's mainly working with SharePoint and Microsoft Teams implementation and consultation. And he has 15 plus years experience specifically in SharePoint, and he has different flavors as he mentioned in his career. Like he's working as a SharePoint consultant, building forms and internet site, user adoption training for all Microsoft apps, and all. So another interesting thing about Amy is like he's more active into community as well. He has his own YouTube channel, which I am going to share on my screen. So basically, the channel is SharePoint Wizard, and he has uploaded 100 plus videos on his channel. And you can see the variety that he's providing on his channel. This is amazing, and I would recommend everyone to subscribe his channel. So whenever he is uploading new content, you will always get the notification, and you can watch the latest content from his channel. And even like with SharePoint, whenever you face like if you wanted to connect Amy, so basically his LinkedIn profile is available on his YouTube page itself. So you can contact him on his LinkedIn. He's very active there. He's making the post as well on the LinkedIn. So stay tuned on his LinkedIn account as well, and subscribe his channel so you will never miss any updates from uh, uh, from Amy. And basically, I will provide all these links into the description box itself, so you can check out the description box for more information and learn more thing from his channel. So yeah, without me talking more now, I would like to hand over the stage to Amy so he can share his screen and get started with overall session agenda for today.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I will now share my screen and we will start the journey. Okay, thank you. I'm very glad to start this short training. As we said, we will go through several new features. If you want to see the features, by the way, you can ask. By the way, the first thing is you can create your own sandbox where you can test all of the features by yourself and set yourself either to targeted release or to public preview. That's a great way not to work on production. Okay, so the first thing will be actually how we can do collapsible sections. So what is a collapsible section? If we look at this page, this is in this case a communication site. You see, we can scroll and scroll and scroll, and it could be very long. And actually, it's not. It sometimes can be the users will. We can lose the users. So collapsible sections lets us actually group the sections in groups. We can give it a name, and let's see how we do it. So I will edit the page. By the way, it works both for team sites and team sites and communication sites. So I edited the page, and actually, you see here I have sections. If I click on the section, actually, I'll create here another section. I'll come here, and I can edit the section. You see, um, this is what we know. We can know how we can split the section to one column, two columns, or more. Here we can choose the color background, but this is the magic. Make the section collapsible. You notice that on the left, we can now enter a name and we can define, so let's just call it, for instance, IT. And here we can define other things if we want a divider between the section, if we want this plus and minus to be on the right or the left. You see it switches from right to left. And if we want it to be expanded or collapsed. So let's change it like that. I'll click the X and I will publish. Okay, I will do this. You notice that this whole section now disappeared. So only if I open it, the content inside is there. So let's do this for the next section. I'll come here. I'll go to this edit and I will mark it and I will do it like this. And actually, I will publish. I forgot here to actually edit the page, give a name. But here you see, I could put here HR. Now, actually, we see. By the way, this looks like something is there's a bug here, but actually, as you see, as we open up these tabs, uh, we don't need the whole content to be shown at once. And actually, what I would like to do is to show you what is a best use case. So the title can be actually a question, and what the content inside can be the answer. So I took here's a FAQ actually that I found of Microsoft, and actually I will go now to demonstrate on a team site. So this is also um, team site where we will edit the pages. And as you saw here, I can click on the section and I will open it and I will give a name. So the name will actually be the question, what is Microsoft Stream? Now here the content actually would be the answer. So let's delete this. Let's this also delete this because we don't need it. Um, just a second, I will add a text, web part, and I will put the answer that that I want to provide. So you see if I now publish, by default, no one sees the too much information, but if you open it, you will see the information. I need to see why it's showing, for instance, on the left. Okay, that's because the section was split into two. So if we make the section like that, now actually we can see the information and the user will ask. And by the way, you notice here we have like a link. We can use this as like a table of content. I'll demonstrate how we do that. So I'll just edit very fast. Let's create a new section. Um, and we will copy the second question. Who is Microsoft intended to? Just a second. Here we go. We'll put the name and I will put the answer. So it's really nice. Now, what I will do is I add here a text web part, and I published. Now you see. Now, in order to show you how to use this link, I will copy these sections multiple times just to demonstrate what how to use it. So see, I have put this multiple times. Let's just and just think each one of these is actually a question. What we can do is to take this link. I will right click and copy the link. And now I will add a new section which will actually link to this specific section. Let's add a new one and we will add and we will say here is a link to let's say HR. This time I want to let me just publish it. I will take the last one here and copy it and I will put it here. In the text web part, actually, we have a link, a hyperlink that we could use here, and we can paste it. Let's just give it a name. Let's call it HR. So look, I'm clicking here on HR, and it's bringing me to this question. So this is, I mean, each one can use it differently. By the way, if we can decide that one of the sections will be with a different background. So for instance, I take this background. And now if I show this, you see I have some playing with, so it's not boring. So actually, this is each one can use it as he wants, but it acts like an accordion, grouping the information, the content inside. And actually, in the past, there was also an idea instead of uh, using it like accordion, taking the whole section and putting it as a tab. So you would have each section would be a different tab. It never was published, but I hope it will, because that's another way to present data without because people, if they need to scroll, they'll never get there. So okay, so now we covered actually the collapsible sections. I recommend you to test it and see what you can benefit from it. The next feature is actually on a team site, and it's navigation switcher. So if you noticed here in the team site, you had very limited possibilities to add a navigation. You could add maybe one level below. Let's just copy this like this, and I will let's call it HR1. Paste. And this link actually I can promote to be a sublink. So you see it moves uh, within, and if I save it, you see actually in the drop down I'll see this. But sometimes this, if you have lots of links, it's not that nice, and and Microsoft this came out with a possibility to navigation switcher that actually one, you can decide if you want to show at all the navigation. Second, you can um, convert the navigation from this part to the top part, and then you can use the mega menu, which is actually like the communication, and it actually uses the whole um, side to side, because actually you see it starts, the whole page starts from here. So how do we do that? We go to the gear icon, and actually we will go to change the look, and now we have here the theme, the header, and now we have a navigation. So you noticed here the first setting is actually, do you want to see the navigation? So if I switch it, you see now I decided I don't want. I have now the possibility to do that. Assuming I do want the navigation, by default it's vertical, but I can change it to horizontal. You see here actually now I don't have the left navigation, and I have actually the top navigation. And you see here I can also choose if it will be cascading or mega menu. The mega menu lets you put lots of links and organize it in a very good way. It's very good for hub sites. Um, so you see here actually, let's just look. For some reason, I think I didn't save it, so we'll go again, and we will choose this and press save. Okay, you see here, actually, this is the cascading, but if we now change it to mega menu, we could build much more levels, and we could do much more. So you see here, I have HR, but if I could put underneath this multiple levels of navigation. The only what I found is actually, if you remember, on the left navigation, you could edit the links. Here we don't have this. Um, so the trick is back to, you need to switch back to the previous view. Yes, the vertical. You need here to set up the navigation and then switch it back. So that's actually the workaround. And sometimes, from my experience, when I played around with it, if you have too many links here, actually, what will happen is that all of the links here will, if you pass one or two more, you will see three dots that you will need to choose. So that's not that nice. This still shows the recycle bin, which is by default is not possible to hide. The only workaround of hiding the recycle bin is to activate the publishing feature. Um, Activating the publishing feature, infrastructure publishing feature, has its own things that you should consider before you do it. But that's just a tip that I put in between. So, as we said, we can either decide not to have a navigation at all, which is hidden. We could decide to keep it on the left. We can decide to have it horizontal, and we can use the powerful cascaded mega menu. So we're now to the next thing. So Microsoft List actually has has improved very much since the basic or previous releases. And actually, okay, I'll just change it back to the standard thing I'm used to, just because it's easier for me. So you can create a list actually from here, or we can go to the Microsoft List new homepage, and we can create a list. So let's create a list. By the way, you can create a list which will be saved on your OneDrive. Only you will have access, or you can choose to have it on a SharePoint site. Now you can create a blank list. You can import it from Excel. The Excel needs to be a table, or you can import from an existing list. You also have templates that you can use. And if your company has a template that they have set up, you will have also a tab here of list that the company. So I will just create a list, and let's call it demo. I will choose a color and a logo, and you see here I can save it either to my list, which is the OneDrive, or I can choose one of these sites. So we created it. Um, okay, by default we have one title, and let's add a choice column, which will be status, and the status will have some statuses. Let's say new, open, and closed. Okay, that it doesn't matter the values. And now actually we can create a view. A view is actually, the purpose of the view is sometimes to limit, to group the information. And when we create this, we have four types of views. The standard one is actually a list. We just give it a name, and we then can define if we want to filter, if we want to sort, if we want to group or calculate. So that's, I think, everyone knows. The second one actually is a calendar. The calendar, if I have a date column, let's look for the date and let's call it due date. And I enter some information. I'll enter it this way. So we have topic one, the status will be new, and the due date is today. Just copy this just to make it easy. And I will exit. So actually this calendar view, if I create new, we can choose it shows here all of the date columns. In this case, we have created and modified. In this case, let's choose due date, and we'll give it a name. Let's call it cal, and we will take the list, and now it shows the items, by the way, in a calendar view. You see there's actually one and another two. And if we click here, we see also the issue. Currently, it's limited. We can see only a month view, but I think in future also a day and a year or week could be added, and that could be very helpful. Next one is actually even much better. So we can actually use a gallery. A gallery view is actually showing the information in like cards. So actually, let's give it a name, and I will choose this. And now what we can see, you see it's like cards, but now we can actually go to format current view, and we have a card designer. So we can decide what uh, columns we want to show on the card, what is the order, we can drag. We can decide if we want to see the name of the column or just the value. By the way, if we had a picture or image, we will also see it here. If we had a user, then we could also see the user. So this is the card view, and the last and not least is actually the one that I'm very excited to show you, is the board view. So let's just call it board, and I will choose the board view. Here I need to choose which column I want to use. So currently the view, the board view can support two types of columns. One is a choice, and the second one is a yes and no. So the status is a choice, so we can use it. If we don't have a column, we can click here, create new column, and it will create it automatically for us. So let's see. Wow, this looks actually very, very similar to Planner. Um, you notice here that automatically we have here unassigned, and we have here all of the statuses of the choice. So now we can actually drag it, and you see actually the value of this of the column has changed from new to open. We can now take this, and now this is actually change the status, and you can work just like in Planner. I hope people you've seen Planner, and these are actually like buckets. So you see this plus. This actually here we can create a new item, and automatically we can choose all of the information, and it will show it automatically. So these plus add a new item. But from here, automatically, we can also add a new value to the choice. So let's call it, the new choice value will be other. And now we can actually drag it. And by the way, if we have lots of items, then you will see internal scroll bar, which you can go down, up and down. So this is a choice. I want to create, I'll go back to the regular list view, and I will add also a yes and no column just to show you how it works. So by default, let's say it's no, and I will create now a new view, which is a board based on the yes no column. Let's call it yes. And now you will see that by default, strangely enough, it's unassigned, even though we said it's default for no. Okay, but let's assign it, and let's move it in this way. And actually, it's like in Planner, we can manage and do task management, project management, not for complex ones, but for light things. We can take the raw view and either show it in a calendar as like this. We can show it as a calendar. Each one is focused in a different way. By the way, there's a very good example that Mark Cashman has shown. Microsoft has also a non-commercial, a free Microsoft list that is offered, and he has presented a very new example of managing all kinds of things. In his case, he took pictures of Batman, and it's very interesting. But this can be also all for business. So we need to go on, and next topic is actually how to integrate emojis in SharePoint and Teams. So for this, actually, we will go to a site. And the first thing we can do is actually, by the way, how do we use emojis in Windows 10 and 11? If we have a window keys, And if we click the dot, I'll just Google it just to show you, to demonstrate it. Windows and dot, Windows key, save, just to show you how I use it. So actually, there's a window key, and you press dot, and then you can actually see all of the magic. So let's go to the demonstration. And the first thing is, actually we can add. So I'll just click anywhere, a window key and dot. You see all of these emojis have showed up, and actually we can add them. It's amazing that you can add this thing to anything now in SharePoint, and it doesn't hurt the URL or anything. So in this case, I will start with creating a site. I can choose to create a team site or communication site. Let's create a communication site. Let's give it a name. Demo 112. Okay. But here in the name of the team, I can actually add this emoji. I don't know how much it makes sense, but just to show you it's possible. So I'm now in the sandbox, so I don't worry about doing it. You see, actually, the name of the site is with the emoji. Second thing is, actually we can in the menu integrate new items. So for the home, I can edit it and I could add to the display. Let's look for a home emoji. Yes, so it makes sometimes sense. Maybe for users that can't read, or this icon can give them more information. So I will edit the documents, and maybe I will add a image of a book. Yes, so you see it saves it. Sometimes I noticed for some reason it um, you see the image is gray. So we said we can create a site. We can use it in navigation. Next thing actually we can do is actually use it in page. So I can go to a new page, and I can give the page some kind of a name. But I will add also, because I have a new movie, just click it like that and put some information. And in the page library, we will also see that. Uh, let's just go to site content and site pages. And you see here it's showing. Now let's go to the next thing. I can create a whole list or library with this icon. In this case, I will not. I will create a new document library. And actually, let's see how we can use it. So, by the way, you notice here we have here actually a new feature that just showed up, which is a navigation within the site that shows all of the document libraries. So without using any navigation here, anywhere you see it, it's also existing in OneDrive. You can automatically switch between the libraries you have. Sometimes it shows things that you don't want the audience to see, but that's the limitations. But in this document library, we will actually put a folder one. The folder can have some kind of emoji. Um, we could have it on a specific file. If I upload, I give it a name. Uh, And what we can do actually, also in lists and also in libraries, we can put columns which give meaning with an emoji. Okay. I'll just go to a list just to make it a bit more clear. So I will go create a list. Yes. And we could give information that gives to the user some meaning. So for instance, I could choose a sorry, I will choose a column with amount, number, and I will call this sales, but I could actually put here a dollar symbol. Now, actually, the user which will see it, he will see not only the name, but the meaning. Same thing we could do for all of those things. And let's see, by the way, we can also do it for pages and news. And also in Teams, we can integrate it. So I'm now in a team, and a team is a place where you can collaborate. So I created a new team. You see the team is called Demo Teams, and by default, I get one channel. But I can give for additional channels um, to add some kind of a emoji. So let's create a new, I click the three dots, I add channel, and I will call this, let's say, I will put this icon and I will call it help. Okay, so each channel is actually a different stream of information, and users can sometimes identify by the name of the channel or the icon what they need. Okay, so let's add another one just to that will be, let's say, questions. So let's call it Q&A. And this question, okay, interesting. It doesn't allow to put this end. And as you see here, actually we have it. Now we can, so each channel can have this information. Now also in each channel you have a conversation and you have tabs. So when I add a new tab, for instance, I can add a tab for a page or for a SharePoint or a list, actually, or Word document. I could actually give a name and add this icon, which will mean something, or let's say, let's use this idea, and this will be ideas. And this document, I need to look for some document here. So currently it's not possible, but let's just add something else, just for the example. So I can go to SharePoint, and I can add a page or document or anything. Okay, let's say this page, and you see it added the news, but I can also rename it and put the emoji. So emojis can be very helpful, but on the other hand, if it's you add it too much, it can be too childish and too goofy. So I recommend to use it in a wise way, maybe in menus, maybe in columns. Some, by the way, if you noticed here, I added here, for instance, a dollar. But when I open the form, actually SharePoint adds here the type of the column. So you see here a 1, so that means it's actually a number. ABC means it's a text. If it was something different, a choice would be something else. So this is actually what I wanted to show you. And the last thing is, actually I'll do it fast, is how can you take a document library with its folders and actually um, convert it to use only metadata. So what we will do is actually to the home page, and I will actually create a document library. and create 4 folders. Let's call it. This is not a new feature, but this is a mindset. Okay. As you see here, also you can see here all of the document libraries we have. I will create folder one. The issue is also that um, Microsoft has some limitations in list and libraries. In general, they say it's 30 million items, but there's a limit of 5,000 threshold for views. And by the way, using folders is a very traditional way of file share, and Microsoft says the better way is actually to use metadata instead of folders, because some people put the name of the file, which is actually the description and everything, instead of tagging it as a metadata. So I have 2 folders. I'll create one last one. And in each one, I will add some files. Let's put this one, and let's add another one. Okay, so in folder one, I have this, and I will just add very fast the rest of the information. Here we go. Perfect. So imagine that people create folders and create subfolders and sub, and you cannot find the information. You can use the search, but if you use the filter, for instance, it will only show the level that you are in. So if I'm in the outside of the folders, I will only find what's in this level. If I go the level down, I will only see that. So it's not really good. So what is actually possible is that uh, I will just rename this folder. Okay, let's say this folder is called HR, and this folder will be IT. Sorry for the examples that are very go, and this is would be PR. So actually, these files have no information instead with only the technical name. But what if I wanted to filter all of those that are HR without going into the list? So first of all, what we will do is create a column which will be, let's say, or a text or a choice, which will be department. Just put the information here of, so we have IT, Shah, and PR. Could be also just the text. And second thing is actually we could give the values to the files by in a mass way. Now it really depends how much documents we have. In this simple example, it's easy, but this we're doing it in steps. First of all, we will tag each file to have the right department, and then actually we can show it without. Um, we can create a view without folders, and then we can actually delete the folders or take them out of the folder. So let's see how I do it. So actually, I have this column, but I need to tag it. So I can mark all of the files here, and I can go to the information panel, and you see there's a bulk. I can just choose something, and it will bulkily uh, update the information. Of course, if you have many things, you can use Power Automate or other things. So currently, these 2 files are IT, but they're in a folder. I will go to HR, the same thing. I'll just market everything, and I will go here. By the way, I could go and do quick edit, yeah, and just tag them. Let's go back. IT, HR, HR. So something's wrong. So I'll just mark it like this, and I can bulkly, and this is HR. So we still have the folders. Now folders is good if you because you can run permissions on it on on a level of a metadata. You cannot do permissions. You can do it on an item level, but uh, one of the reasons that people use folders is because you can do permissions. Now I can create a view actually that shows the all of the files without the folders. So I will go here to the drop down and I will do create a new view. Let's call it without folders. Now I will edit this new view. I will go to edit this current and it brings me to the classical setting of views. Now if we scroll down, we have folders and we by default it shows items in folders, but we can say show all items without folders. This is all I want to do. So you see actually I have, even though there's in the background folders that they are stored, currently I can see it without it. Now we need to take in consideration that the 5,000 threshold that can, if we present more than that, then sometimes things stop working. Just in this case, I'll just tag these two and set them as, I don't know what it was. I think it was IT, and I'll just press save. Okay, but now actually we can do all of the information no matter where, if it's in the folder or not. So I can filter here. I can choose only IT. Now in the same situation where we were within folders, then it will not, it would show only when you're inside the folder, only what's in the folder. What I will do just for the last step, I can actually go in and take them out of the folders and look how I can move the folders in the files in different ways. I can move or copy them, and then I can choose where I want to do it. By the way, this is a new copy and move experience, which is nice. But what I wanted to show you, I can also drag it to the location in a breadcrumb. So now these two files have been moved. I'll go to the second one, IT, PR. I could also move them, but you can also just drag them. Okay, it seems like I'm using the same file, so I will keep both. Now I have all folders and I have the files where I just move them out. So actually, I no longer need the folders. I can start working only with this files. This can be deleted. Of course, if we have a big amount of documents, then you should consider how it works. But uh, actually, um, now, what people would do once they would, instead of having in the name of the folder, they would also put the properties, the metadata. So they would call it team banner HR. And if I had another column, which would be, let's say, let's call this due date, and it's a date, so they would actually put in the name of the file also the due date. Instead of managing this in a way where you can give the properties and actually you can work with it, you can export it, and you can do all of the benefits. You can sync it to your OneDrive or to the sync the desktop. And of course, you can use all of the automations, rules, and things like that. So I think I completed the training. Um, each thing has pros and cons. and but try to take the best, and good luck.
Yes. So thank you so much, Amy, for this amazing tips and tricks. Because today actually we started from the collapsible section, then we moved to the switcher in team side, then board view, and then emojis, and the last topic of this folder thing. So it's amazing, like full pack session, and obviously the audience learned a lot from this entire session. So thank you so much for sharing these amazing tips and tricks with all. And yeah,
It's my pleasure. I anytime I'm happy to help the community, and no matter where they are. As I said, it's a very small globe, and it's amazing that we're talking as if you're next door, and we're very far away, but I feel as if you're just in the next room. So it's really fun.
same here, Emmy. So I really appreciate your all the effort for making this content, sharing with the community, and obviously your most valuable time to sharing all of this thing with the audience. So thanks once again, and definitely we will have you again into our upcoming events or upcoming sessions. So happy to host you again.
Thank you. As I said, it's an honor, and really great to be that you considered me even to be on the show. That's just I'm happy. So thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. And now let me just start the ending ceremony for the session. So let me just share my screen again here. All right. So, first of all, I would recommend everyone to visit SharePoint Wizard, which is Emmy's channel. So, subscribe his channel and show hello over here to this channel as well. And keep yourself updated with the latest SharePoint content, and connect with his social media handles like LinkedIn from the channel banner page. And I would recommend everyone who are on my channel, if you are first time to my channel, make sure you hit subscribe and press the bell notification so you will never miss any updates from my channel. And if you are looking for any training consultancy, this is the website link. And also if you are looking for to follow me on my Twitter, my Instagram, and my podcast channel, all the links are available on the channel homepage. And the most important thing, I started another channel which is in the Indian regional language channel. So if you wanted to have that power platform knowledge into regional Hindi language, then subscribe this channel as well and show your love over this as well. So with this is me, Dhruvin, signing off. See you in the next session with some amazing content, and coming with the third episode of the Talk with Dave soon in the next month. So stay tuned with us. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Amy, and
Oh,
wishing you a
it was
happy
a pleasure. It was a pleasure. I loved it.